My name's Alan and I'm Daisy's dad. Um,
And I'm Chiara, and I'm Daisy's mom.
so Daisy was born on the 11th of June 2010. She was a summer baby. She was a very bubbly and smiley child. She loved the performing arts. She'd been doing that since the age of 4. So she loved to sing and dance and create shows for them. She was just so lovely.
And at some point, she started signing a name as Daisy Joy. And she started writing it at school, one in a signature, to the point that teacher once called us back saying that Daisy had a middle name that we hadn't registered with the school. She loved life. She enjoyed life and every aspect. She was just very vibrant person.
Yeah, that's right. She was also bilingual, so she spoke fluent Italian, unlike myself.
And Daisy loved school. School was always a happy place. I remember a reception teacher, one of the first things she told me, she said, Daisy's fun. That's the thing that I always remember when she started school. But Daisy was a place for learning, but also a social place where she will make friends and and play with friends. And that has always been again a trait throughout her life. Friendship was something that was so important to her. We had some really good time, and Daisy was just again she was just so joyful. So she had such an infectious smile and an energy. She always brought people together, and anything was ever dull when she was around.
Yeah, Daisy was just, yeah, she was amazing, really. And so honored to have had her, despite the fact that it was such a short time. We are really honored to have had her. Um, just looking back in terms of when they eventually told us what the diagnosis was, um, they said it was lymphoma. Then they said they needed to do a biopsy. So when they did the biopsy and it came back saying it's cancer of the tissue. And I remember when they said the words rhabdomyosarcoma, I couldn't even pronounce it.
We couldn't say it.
We couldn't even say it. It was such a long and difficult word.
We never heard of it.
We've never heard of it. The way I looked at it, I didn't want to research it because I felt that wasn't helpful for me. I didn't want to do all that, but I think you took a different approach.
Yeah.
But certainly for me, I didn't feel that it was useful for me.
About not having hope for me, it was about understanding what we were dealing with, and just the context of what does this world I can't pronounce mean? What does it look like? During the journey, after the journey, and I did search a lot. I did join groups on Facebook. I never posted anything, but I was picking things that seemed meaningful. Sometimes in the hope that maybe there was something that, because it was in a different country, there was something that it wasn't done here, that it could be done, and that maybe wasn't used. And I was constantly on a search for something else, for something that had to be this way out, this cure or something. When Daisy was told that that the treatment stopped working, it was the 14th of September 2023. Daisy was finishing off a treatment. It was about 4:30 p.m. and the ward round came in, the oncologist and more stuff, and they asked Daisy how she was doing, and it seemed like a routine conversation until I heard, Daisy, we are start losing the battle with cancer. And that was like a bomb that just dropped and blew off everything. I wasn't sure I was actually hearing that right. It was just like everything kind of froze at that moment in time. I was silent, no one said anything. And then I looked at the doctor and I looked at Daisy, and then silent tears start coming out to Daisy's eyes. And I held her, I held her hands. I was totally unprepared. I didn't know what to say. And then I don't remember much after that.
Once you've uttered those words, there's this that hope that you have, because Kiara and I are both Christians, and that hope that you have, that belief, to keep fighting, to keep going, is almost taken out of your hands. There's no, you know, there's nothing that we could do. There's nothing that we could say to Daisy to take it back. It's like it's been the cat's out the bag at that point. And I think after that, we saw a different side to Daisy. It was truly when she died. I think after that, she was always head down like this. She didn't want to talk to anyone. She didn't want to engage in conversations. She just wanted to be home. And actually, she eventually said, if the treatment is not working, then I want to stop. So she made the decision to stop the treatment, and we got her home, and she was happy to be home. Um, the support that we got from you guys, the CNS nurses, were really amazing. Setting up the bed, setting up the pumps. It was strange having all these diff- different type of objects in the house that felt it didn't belong. But when you look at the wider picture, it felt right. It felt comfortable. This is where Daisy grew up. The garden, her room, um, and we managed the best that we could with the support that we had. At times, it felt a little bit overwhelming with the constant visits, and I understand why, just to make sure that we are okay. But at times, it felt that it was almost taking precious time from us, from Daisy. Um, but and it was also a reminder that, hey, this is really serious. Dare I say, the end is near. So and that was always constantly also playing on our mind. Having said all that, we still didn't believe that Daisy would die. We felt in our heart of hearts that Daisy would survive it, that Daisy would be fine, that Daisy would be well. Um, so we didn't really see the signs of, we didn't know the signs of, how does someone die? I've never seen someone die before. So the book that they gave us, they mentioned that do not resuscitate. Um, we never opened that book because we believed that Daisy would survive. So when when it did happen, that's exactly why I did. I tried to resuscitate my child because I wanted to live. Um, but they did say that when it comes, there's nothing you can do about it. And when it did come, it was devastating. It was it was uh, it was a shock because that's not how it's meant to go. Um, we are meant to go before Daisy. That's just the nature of life, right? You see your parents go, and then you go. It's You don't see your daughter go before you do, and having to talk about my daughter in the eulogy in past tense is very strange. it's a life sentence. Every day that goes by, is a reminder of our huge loss and the father and daughter time that I'll never get. The skiing that we used to do that I was really fond of. I've never been back since Daisy passed, and I don't think I ever will. Such is the pain. We've decided to continue in Daisy's legacy. We've set up a charity in her name, Daisy's Art, to raise funds and try and find a cure um, to change the story and the narrative for someone else. And that, in a way, is almost like we feel that we are helping Daisy grow in some way.
And also, if this experience can help, sharing this experience can help the medical profession, I think there's two things. One, although Daisy said and we agreed that she will be involved with every part of the cancer journey in knowing what happens, and that's why when the news were delivered to Daisy and us at the same time. I think that was the one time where probably we would have appreciated an exception to the agreement, because at that moment in time, I felt I was processing something that I couldn't process, and at the same time, I had to manage distraction and pain in my head, and I had to protect Daisy, and I felt I was disabled. Um, and then I think, and this is generally speaking, is the language around cancer um, that's used about losing the battle with cancer. I just think it's wrong. There is no, it just like is implying that in the battle with cancer, there's winners and there is losers. And in my mind, it's almost like saying that when soldiers are in war and they die, they are losers. They are not. I see them as fighters. So that language doesn't apply when you speak about cancer. Daisy didn't lose no battle. Daisy fought a battle. Who lost the battle? I think we all lost the battle as a society, because Daisy's treatment was 30 years old. There were no new drugs because there were enough funds for every child with cancer. And that needs to change. And that's the change I would like to see. We actually named the star after Daisy passed. We named it Daisy Joy.